Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night. It is 8:05 Eastern. Time for some Turnbuckle Talk. We are on episode number 418, Golden Dreams. This is your host, Chris Best. Got OMD alongside me. OMD, how are we doing today? OMD says he's got the loop, but I don't see him muted, so he can talk.
Literally, every time I try to talk, I'm getting the loop. But I'm doing all right outside of that. Another slow day at work, but that's this global trade war. People just aren't out spending money.
It is what it is. But right now we got Bobby Stats coming in saying hello guys. How's it going, Bobby? Bob in the room saying hey guys. Bella, how are you doing? Got NXT on our screen today. Yeah, today was just a bit of a lazy day for me. There really wasn't anything going on, so I'm like didn't really want to go anywhere. But I think right now, you know what? Why not? Why not? We're 2 minutes into the show. Why don't we just head right into our show? Our show.
Just never wants to end. Still going.
Yeah, well, OMD is going to be thrown into another loop here. Let's get it all started off here. Give me a second. I'm trying to pull up my chat here. Our chat here with the wrestling news. Let's get it all started with some pretty intriguing news here coming out of Ohio. I'm talking, of course, Ohio Valley Wrestling. OVW, once a prominent developmental territory for WWE, is entering a new era under new management. On Monday, OVW announced that Morley Sports Management would take control of the wrestling promotion starting May 1st. Rob Edwards, the founder of the UK-based company that owns Haverford West County AFC, a semi-pro football club in Wales, will take over as OVW's CEO. OVW is such a historic brand within wrestling and sports entertainment and has real provenance, said Edwards in the press release. Some of the biggest talents in the industry have learned their trade at OVW, confirmed by the fact that the main event at WrestleMania this year will be between two OVW alumni in John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Founded in 1993, OVW became a key WWE developmental territory in the late 90s based in Louisville, Kentucky. The promotion is famous for launching the careers of stars like John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Batista. The names go on and on and on there. Following its affiliation with the WWE in the late 2000s, OVW continued its operations, but in recent years, the company has struggled financially despite gaining attention from the Netflix docuseries Wrestlers. Since 2018, ownership has changed hands 4 times. In an interview with WDRB in Kentucky, OVW minority owner Matt Jones said it was getting hard to continue. Former WWE and ECW star Al Snow will continue as the head of OVW's Wrestling Academy and programming under MSM. OVW's future CEO has a positive outlook. OMD, I go to you on this one. What do you make of this situation here? We all know about OVW's financial struggles.
Right.
Could this be what fixes it? Hopefully.
Hopefully. When I first heard about this yesterday, as soon as I saw Morley Sports Management, I was immediately thinking Sean Morley, the former Val Venus, and I was really, really worried. But this is going to be interesting. I mean, this is a company, again, much like Impact, much like TNA, who have struggled financially off and on. Now TNA seems to have found some stability. Let's hope that this same thing happens here for OVW, because there are some phenomenal wrestlers there, some phenomenal talents, including Ryan Howe, who we all infamously remember as Skid Mark on Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Now known as Ryan Von Rocket. And I do hope that OVW can continue putting on. I was really concerned about Al Snow because I knew he was one of the higher ups in the company. I didn't know how high, other than training or leading the academy. But I thought he was involved in the management aspect and ownership as well. So good for him to be able to stay on and do what he is doing to help create the superstars of the future.
Yeah, I don't ever see him leaving OVW at all. There's a lot of wrestlers that I was worried about, like Hollywood Haley J, who works out of there. Jesse Goddard, who works out of there as well. I'm very glad that they're coming under new management. I do hope that it does help with the success that OVW is trying to achieve with their weekly shows on YouTube now, and everything like that. But yeah, like I'm glad for this. I'm hoping that there is a positive outlook on this one. The CEO has positive outlook. It also says here, led by Al Snow, the promotion remains littered with talent with whom we want to promote, not just within Louisville, Kentucky, but across the U.S. and Europe. And yeah, there's a lot of guys in OVW that I feel like I should be seeing on NXT or the WWE or even AEW or TNA.
Right. Right. And I mean, like, we know that OVW has that track record as being a developmental brand for WWE and then TNA. And I mean, legitimately, I'm glad they're sort of staying to themselves now, as opposed to becoming that developmental territory. Because in all likelihood, I would see them becoming that developmental for AEW.
Yeah, I'm glad they're keeping their own thing and they're letting their wrestlers get booked wherever. I mean, as I said, Hollywood Haley J, she did go to TNA for a little bit not TNA, AEW for a little bit as a kind of talent exchange. She did end up going back to OVW.
Yes, I believe it was only one match that she had in AEW.
There was like one or two matches she did. But no, I'm happy for this. I'm excited to see where it goes. I don't think I would change anything that OVW is doing right now because I kind of like what they are doing as far as building an online presence with OVW with the product.
Bobby coming in saying Hollywood Haley J did matches at NWA as well. Yes, she has.
Yep, yes, she has. But no, I'm excited. I don't necessarily want to see major changes made to OVW, as I've said. I'm happy with them steering the course. If they want to do big shows, then go right ahead. Do some big shows. That'd be cool.
Right.
Sorry, I had to take a drink there.
No worries. No worries.
But yeah, on that note, let's move on to something a little bit lighter and something that I also feel is a little bit unsafe, in my personal opinion. You sent this story about one Matt Cardona.
I did. And this one, I mean, wrestling fans, we are a crazy bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Cardona finally got paid to hit a fan with a kendo stick.
Yeah.
And as it says here, it starts off, wrestling fans are some of the craziest fans in the world. They make wild requests to their favorite pro wrestlers. Recently, the self-proclaimed deathmatch king, Matt Cardona, had a bizarre request from a fan, and he fulfilled it. Recently, a fan met Cardona and offered the former WWE Intercontinental Champion money to pick up a kendo stick and hit him. Cardona was puzzled, but fulfilled the request. He took to Twitter to share the clip and also revealed that it was the first time he was ever paid to hit a fan with a kendo stick. I've never been paid to hit a fan with a Kendo Stick. Until yesterday, Cardona tweeted. So, yes, I mean, we are a crazy bunch. I can relate because I know back in 2007, I was doing the, as it was called, the Bacon Bagels and Biceps brunch for WrestleMania 23. And we had Chris Masters, and I did want to ask him to put me in the Master Lock Challenge at that brunch. I was unfortunately unable to get my question out.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this one, and solely because again, there's a whole safety issue here with the fans and whatnot, and it's like I mean, you got to take into consideration a fan safety when you do this stuff,
Right. Because, yeah, only Matt Cardona is the only trained, unless this guy is, you know, the backyard hardcore wrestler and knows how to take a bump. Maybe he is, you know, an independent wrestler and just this is his chance to meet his hero. But I mean, stupidity on the fans' part, in my opinion.
I mean, I've had wrestlers when I'm taking pictures with them ask me to be put in a move, like King Kong Bundy, for instance. I mean, you were there. King Kong Bundy asked, "Hey, can I put you in a chokehold?"
Yeah,
I'm like, by all means, do it.
I've got a shot of Bundy with his hands around my neck.
Yeah, that's the same picture I'm talking about because I got the same one. And then there's on the other side of the ring. Hacksaw did the same thing. He's like, "Can I put me in a chokehold, and I'm going to make it look like I'm going to deck you."
Right.
And then even this past or Thursday or whatever, when you had mentioned him, Chris Masters, he was putting people in the master lock to pose for a photo. I mean, that's different than being asked to be hit by a kendo stick. Like,
right. There's a big difference between a photo op and doing something out of lunacy.
mm-hmm.
Now, I am sure Cardona probably did it professionally and didn't crank the guy in the back with it. But
mm-hmm. Yeah, Bubba's coming in saying, "I've seen the video. Matt didn't hit him that hard." I'm going to take a moment here to watch the video because I've got the video right here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, there's a bit of a snap on the hip, but it's not as hard as I've seen. Like, say, I'm going to use Steve Blackman as an example.
right,
Not as hard as I've seen somebody like Steve Blackman swing in it because
right. And the guy was wearing a thick enough plaid jacket sweater over top that it could absorb it.
Yeah. I think there was a bit of trepidation in Cardona just trying to keep it safe with the guy.
Right.
I've seen Cardona swing those kendo sticks a lot harder. I mean, look at some of the stuff he's done in Game Changer Wrestling. So
you're right.
Bobby Stats coming in saying, "I just liked the video on YouTube." Thank you very much, Bobby, for that like. Yeah, it was nothing. It was just a similar way that we used to when we get pictures with, again, like the masterpiece, and he puts us in the master log, and he's not really doing it, you know.
Right.
So it was just that. That's all it was. It's all good, but it was still just an interesting piece to see.
But fans, you got to be careful when you are asking this sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There is a reason why it says, "Do not try this at home."
Yeah, now I want to move on to some musical news here.
Okay.
Something that doesn't really surprise me, but I'd be interested in seeing. I know you're not too big a fan of this band either, but WWE star Damian Priest will host a concert event headlined by one of his favorite bands, Slayer. Slayer announced that they will be headlining a show in Hershey, Pennsylvania at Hershey Park Stadium on September 20th. Priest will serve as the host of the show, which also includes Suicidal Tendencies, Exodus, Power Trip, Knocked Loose, and Cavalera. For more on the story, then gives off another story website. This kind of excites me. I think this is actually pretty cool at the same time for Damian Priest.
It is cool for Damian Priest. You're right. I'm not a huge fan of Slayer. And we know that they are doing a handful of select reunion shows with the original lineup. So what I'm curious is it that original lineup or is it Kerry King's Slayer? I've seen Slayer live. Granted, I was closer to the back of the stadium when I saw them. So I can't speak to their live show.
It's the full original Slayer lineup.
Okay. And it's funny because I have just heard the other day that because they're doing just these reunion shows and this handful of tour dates throughout the year because they were officially retired. But I've heard that there have been issues within Slayer and that they were on they were at the final end. They were just saying, no, we can't do it anymore. But that remains to be seen.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, you already mentioned his name, but Kerry King does the guitar work on Damian Priest's theme song.
Okay.
So could be that it could be a relationship between Kerry King himself and Damian Priest, and Kerry's
Right.
like, "Hey, come and host our show,"
Yep. And I mean, you look at the other bands that are in there. I mean, Knocked Loose are phenomenal. Suicidal Tendencies, I'm not too big on. Cavalera, the guy is phenomenal. It's just a matter of can he keep his band under control? Because, I mean, we've seen him go from Sepultura to Soulfly, Cavalera Conspiracy, and now this.
Well, he's a journeyman as far as musicians go.
He is.
This should be a kick-ass show at the same time, though, because I know quite a number of people that will want to go there if they're in the Pennsylvania area.
I would be going.
Yeah, I'd go. I'd go because I'd be like, Damian Priest? Fuck yeah. I want to go meet that
Right?
guy. Go have a beer
Right?
with him, maybe. But yeah, this is exciting. This is a great way for the WWE. We talked about this about WWE possibly making a Rolodex of artists that they can use to write new theme songs and whatnot. This is a
Right?
great way for the WWE and Damian Priest to do that.
Well, and let's not forget, prior to his leaving and joining AEW, Edge did come out to Slayer music at his last WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he actually, I can't remember if he used Rain and Blood or which song he used, but
I can't recall either. But this is an exciting time. Damian Priest, good on you for doing this. He's a well-known metalhead. I mean, like, there was a video I watched where they did like a red carpet ceremony with the WWE. It was like Metal Injection's website did it or something,
right,
and they asked all the superstars like, what are you listening in your headphones for metal bands? And Priest just sat there and he's like, just rhymed them off, no problem,
right,
even rhymed off some metal bands that like not a lot of people have heard of,
yeah.
But no, I'm happy. I'm intrigued. I want to want to check that out and see how it goes. Like I said, it's great publicity for one Damian Priest for the WWE and everything like that. Now you've got some news coming out of Japan here that
I do.
kind of came late. It arrived after I got all the stories together.
I do, and this is an interesting one because normally I'm not the guy to report on Japan. But a former WWE champion, cruiserweight champion, I should say, is reportedly a free agent after turning down a new offer from New Japan Pro. And it says spring is in the air, which signifies that change is definitely on the horizon. For former three-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion TJ Perkins, he is now embarking on new ventures following reports from Fightful that confirm the current United Empire leader is returning to the free agency market. New Japan Pro Wrestling apparently made a contract offer to Perkins, which he declined to sign. Those who spoke with Fightful mentioned that this decision was received amicably and that there were no hard feelings from either party. As of this report, TJP will continue to work for New Japan on a freelance basis, appearing in other upcoming New Japan shows, except for this year's Super Juniors tournament, which begins on Saturday, May 10th, and for which he has opted not to participate. Your thoughts?
I want to see him come back to the WWE. I've always liked him.
I do too, but I don't think he is a fit in the WWE. He did well in the Cruiserweight Classic, was doing okay in NXT, but was not great when he was called up to the main roster. I know it's a new regime, but Bobby, you're coming in saying he'd be a great addition to TNA's X Division. Yes, he would. Yes, he would. I know he was played off as being the one behind the original Suicide character there, and then became Manic, and then he was TJP and TJ Perkins, and he was fantastic with what he was able to do in TNA his first go round.
Just as long as he doesn't go to he doesn't become elite, which could very well be a possibility, I would be very happy with wherever he ends up.
Yes. No, I could see it very much so. But again, you're right. I don't want to see him go there because he is going to, again, probably get lost in the shuffle. And that's what I'm afraid would happen to him in WWE as well.
I also really liked his theme song. I thought his theme song was so cool.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued to see what happens with TJP. I enjoyed his time in New Japan. And who knows, he may even stick around in Japan and go to All Japan or something like that.
Right? All Japan, Noah.
I'm not really certain about Noah. Noah's more of a hardcore Japan promotion.
Okay. DDT. Bobby coming in and saying
doesn't want him to go to AEW because he would lose there like Scorpio Sky has been.
Yeah. And Scorpio Sky, please, when you're a free agent, go sign that NXT offer. Yeah, TJP, I think, would be fantastic as well, working the crossover.
Yeah, and see, that's what I was going to say. Like WWE, put him on NXT. There's a lot of lighter weight wrestlers on that show for him to work.
Yeah.
As right now, like we got Nathan Frazier, Axiom, and Swipe Right all fighting each other in the ring.
Right? Oh, okay. Well, I'm watching the Leafs right now, so I will.
They're putting on a hell of a tag match show.
Interesting.
Yeah, TJ, as it says here, TJP worked for Ring of Honor, TNA, Impact, WWE. He's been around the block a bit.
Yes.
So it'd be interesting to see where he ends up, or even if he even wants to continue wrestling. That's the other thing. But you also have another story for us, and
I do.
that's regarding the health of one Raquel Rodriguez.
Yes. And anybody who knows, I mean, myself, Bubba Duke, we're massive fans of Raquel Rodriguez. I've been a fan of hers since she was in NXT, working with both Dakota Kai and oh, I can't remember. But she has still not received a full diagnosis on her health issues. Now, we know that she lost a lot of time a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this says Raquel Rodriguez recently shared intimate details about her challenging and ongoing battle with a debilitating illness identified likely as mast cell activation syndrome, or MCAS. During an appearance on Insight, Rodriguez opened up about the confusing diagnosis, her physical symptoms, and the significant mental health struggles that she faced, particularly during her time away from the ring. Rodriguez explained the difficulty in pinpointing her condition. So I never really got a full diagnosis, to be honest with you, she admitted. They said it was mast cell activation syndrome, but I got tested and that didn't come out positive. In describing it for the listeners, it just means your body is having a constant allergic reaction to everything, like things you were never allergic to before. Your body is just so confused, and now you have a sensitive nervous system, and your body is just reacting to anything, like autoimmune. While she has a history of eczema, the symptoms escalated significantly. I started seeing a little bit of eczema pop up on my face. Maybe it could be some of the makeup, she thought. However, the condition worsened, often triggered unpredictably by factors like stress or lack of sleep. It's a puzzle. I'm still trying to figure it out. I think I have a little bit of mast cell, even though I wasn't tested for it. My body just reacts at random times. The physical manifestation became severe, leading to a profound impact on her mental state. A year ago, I was swelling up. It was to the point where I was unrecognizable to myself, she shared. She avoided mirrors, cameras, phones. In her words, I was in such a dark place physically, taking such a big toll on me mentally. Despite the hardship, Rodriguez focused on maintaining a positive mindset. I told myself, I cannot stay here. This isn't forever. I have to tell myself that it's going to get better, she recalled. She credited her strong support system, including family and friends like Liv Morgan, for helping her through. My 6-year-old niece is praying for God to take the redness away. Liv constantly checking on me, just really, really amazing people. But it was something I had to get through by myself for sure. This illness also brought fears about her career because she felt like it was being taken away. Recalling the difficulty of competing at the Elimination Chamber, that was Elimination Chamber Perth, while suffering symptoms, I just started bawling again because I remember being in that moment, face swollen, having to take a steroid shot. I just felt weak. I just felt so helpless and so weak. Deep down, it was really, really hard for me. Rodriguez's candid interview sheds light on the often invisible battles athletes face beyond the ring.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the effects when we watched the Elimination Chamber in Perth, and we all, Carl Parrish and I were watching the show, and we pointed it out. We saw it, and then obviously there was direct concern for her. There still will be. There still is concern. Hopefully, she does get this figured out. Um, I mean, the best thing for her right now is to keep getting checked up and find out what's going on.
What I appreciate is how she was able to open up about it.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the mental health aspect of it, not just the physical, and how much everything weighed on her. But Raquel, thank you, because you are showing us it's okay to talk about these things. It's okay to be afraid. So thank you, Raquel. Best of luck. Keep going forward and kicking ass.
And that's exactly what her and Liv Morgan have been doing over on Raw as the women's tag champions.
Right?
So, yeah, all the best to her on trying to get this figured out. And yeah, Bobby starts coming in saying, I'm glad that Raquel is getting some help." I mean, that's the best you can do right now is just keep getting it checked out. Once you find out what's going on, then you work towards getting it fixed.
Yes. And thank you, Liv, for being such a good friend to Raquel, checking up on her. Thank you to her family, to her support system, to the doctors who are still testing and
OMD is just dying on us over here.
and trying to diagnose this.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than getting a misdiagnosis or can't figure out what's going on kind of situation. That's scary.
The worry is because it is an autoimmune situation. There are so many different things that it could be.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know the triggers.
Yeah, because she did say in that article it happens at the most random of moments.
Yep.
So yeah, all the best, Raquel. We hope that you do get the treatments that you need. We'll say that.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's time already. Like we're really early in the show here, but I think it's time that we take some time to before we get to. Yeah, I think it's time for our showstopper.
Yeah.
On his feet. Oh my God in heaven.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to be talking about the WWE ID program. It has been revealed that there's going to be 2 tournaments on the weekend of WrestleMania, or on the week of WrestleMania. GCW Wrestling will be holding one tournament at GCW The Collective 2025 as well. FCW or FSW in Vegas will also hold the tournament. Those dates will be April 16th and April 18th. The WWE ID Championships will be open to all independent wrestlers once the champions are crowned. This is one of the interesting points. The titles will be defended at various independent wrestling events as well. This one here is the most interesting thing. If a non-WWE ID prospect wins the title, they will be awarded a WWE ID contract. The ID title tournament begins in Las Vegas during WrestleMania week with the 2 events, as I mentioned, GCW and FSW. The opening round will be double elimination, 2 losses and you're out. All of the current WWE ID prospects will be in the tournament. So this is where I got to find a list of the WWE ID prospects.
Right?
Because I remember there was a lot of them.
This is very, very intriguing. I know it's great that they are kicking this off during WrestleMania week to put a bigger focus on these independent talents. But something never before heard of is that the titles are going to be open to everybody after the champions are crowned, and any new champions, if you're not on the WWE ID program, will be awarded with a contract. I love it.
Yeah, this is going to be intriguing. Very, very interesting to see. Yeah, okay, so I've got the list of wrestlers here. We're going to see super wrestlers like Aaron Roberts, Aaron Rourke, Brad Baylor, Bryce Donovan, Cappuccino Jones, Freedom Ramsey, Ice Williams, It's Gal, Jack Cartwheel. These are the males. Jackson Drake, Jordan Oasis, Marcus Mathers, Ricky Smokes, Sam Hardaway Holloway, Sean Legacy. And in the women's, Kylie Ray, Zara Zakir, Zeta Steele, Zoe Sager. I thought there were more women than that, but whatever.
That's
This reads like a
probably
who's
just
who.
yeah. This is
This
probably
reads like
just
a who's who of independent wrestlers.
right. For the women, I'm sure there's probably more, and there's probably more that are vying for ID contracts throughout this tournament. But a double elimination, we haven't seen that in a long time in a tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of sounds like a round robin style tournament, perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to find out if these matches will be on like WWE's YouTube channel or something like that.
Right.
I definitely I can't wait to see Kylie Ray in a WWE ring.
Right.
That makes me so happy.
The only name that actually sticks out to me, and I know we discussed it because he was one of the first names chosen for the men's side, is Cappuccino Jones.
Yeah, I still think that's a cool name.
Right.
But yeah, there's like I said, this reads like a who's who of the current crop of independent wrestlers in the United States and in Canada, because there is a female who's wrestled the Canadian circuit up here.
Right. And I mean, let's not forget that Kylie Ray, come May 10th, is going to be going to Toronto to compete against Giselle Shaw for the Maple Leaf Pro Women's Championship.
Maybe she'll be the ID champion by that point.
Right.
But no, there's I can't wait to see this. I want to see if it's going to be on YouTube, even if they give out like highlights or something. I'll check it out.
Right.
Still, I think this is going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
But what really intrigues me about this whole announcement is the fact that non WWE ID wrestlers can compete for the belt should they decide to win it, or should they win the match. They will be awarded a WWE ID contract. So this has got to make me think. Maybe when these WWE ID titles are on the line at whichever promotion's doing it, they're probably going to have a representative from the WWE at that show.
Right.
So I'd have to assume, like, let's say Kylie Ray wins it. She goes to she goes to some other independent promotion, defends it against, we'll say Hollywood Haley, or we'll say Hollywood Haley J.
Yeah.
Hollywood suddenly wins it. So now she's got herself a contract at the WWE ID.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Right.
I kind of like that.
This is,
But
again, putting the world in World Wrestling Entertainment. This is now extending out and branching out instead of suffocating
and
trying to monopolize the industry.
Yeah, all current. I really want to see how this all pans out. Like I said, I want to see the tournament be put up on YouTube. I want to see every match if I can. Probably not during that whole week because there's a lot of wrestling content coming that week. Yeah. If I could go to these events, that would be great. That would be
right?
awesome.
Right.
Yeah. But I think we've covered as much as we can, and we're only
Yeah,
45 minutes in.
I know.
Um,
I know. It was not a heavy news day.
no, it really wasn't. It was very light in the news. Couldn't find very much to cover.
Yeah,
So on that note, why don't we showcase everything we've got going on with the Turnbuckle affiliation program?
sure. And while you're doing that, if you will give me a moment.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we got total non-stop action with Brace for Impact at 8 p.m. Friday we game again with Unleashed, the Jessica Wilde story at 7 p.m. Following the game, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
Yeah, so that's everything you can find as far as the affiliation program and the programs we've got going on there. If you want some information about the affiliation program, guys, all you got to do is visit affiliationprogram.my.canva.site. Bobby Stats is coming in and on the comments there saying, would be awesome if the WWE ID program, if the ID championships were to be defended at Reality of Wrestling. Hey, that's a possibility. I mean, like, they've got these reaches to all these independent promoters that they can do these shows with. I think it'd be intriguing as well to see if they. I don't know if they would likely do it, given that it's a touring promotion, but even CWE would be kind of cool. OMD, welcome back.
Thank you.
We're getting ready to hand out the socials. If I can find your social.
Yep.
OMD, let the people.
I was going to say, Bobby, I completely agree. I mean, Reality of Wrestling, the Nightmare Factory, the RWA would be fantastic to see it earned at.
I like how you're sticking with American, and I went straight to the Canadian promotions.
Well, and I mean, CWE would be great. CWF out of St. Catharines.
Maple Leaf Pro, like, because we talked about it. I know that Scott D'Amore has been at the Performance Center as of late.
Yep. Hamilton Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. But yeah, OMD, let the people know where they can find you and when they will see your ugly mug next.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for me, you can find me on my Linktree, linktr.ee/OMD show. If you are looking for this gorgeous face, because yes, compared to my colleague on my left, this is gorgeous. You can catch me tomorrow night with him on the PlayStation Showcase.
Yeah, and since Carl's not here, I'm going to promote some of his stuff too. Well, also a lot of our stuff too. So if you want to buy anything for the Turnbuckle affiliation program, all you got to do is visit carlcarafel.redbubble.com. You'll find all of our merchandise there. I'm actually thinking about picking up a couple of throw pillows with Saturday Night Gaming on it and PlayStation Showcase. I think it's going to be there's a lot of cool stuff there. You can get like coffee mugs, sweaters, hoodies, t-shirts, all that kind of thing. Just head on over carlcarafel.redbubble.com. All right. And if you want to follow Carl, you can follow him at his Linktree, linktr.ee/Carl Carafel. That's KarlKarufel. If you want to find me at my socials, you You can find me at my link tree, lanktr.ee/Chris_best83. Look for me tomorrow night alongside OMD doing the PlayStation Showcase. We're gonna take a look at one of the PS4's greatest hits. I'm just gonna leave you guys on that one.
Okay.
OMD,
I'm stumped.
Yeah, OMD, where can the people find you? Or that's not how we end the show.
You want me to say the famous words from Carl Carafel?
Yes.
Ladies
what are those famous words we like to go out on?
Ladies and gentlemen, the world is a scary place. Take care of each other. From all of us here at Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, to those of you out there, wherever you are, good night, good luck. We out.